Man, thanks for coming. Thanks for
No
being
worries.
here.
Thanks for having me. That's it.
Glogowski.
Well, Glogowski, but
Glogowski.
close. Most people just go way off.
Glogowski.
Most people
You
don't.
sound like a ice hockey goalkeeper or something.
Me? Oh, yeah.
Glogowski.
You're like me. Oh, yeah. Yes. That's
Yes, yeah. The
professionally.
name, not me.
Yeah,
But yeah, usually it ends with like a W ski or ska.
Yeah.
All those Polish names.
All ice hockey players in America and
Exactly, yeah.
Canada, they're all
Un-
ski someone. Glogowski.
Yeah.
Glogowski just
Exactly.
sounds...
It sounds probably better than Glogowski.
Glogowski.
That's
Glogowski in the goal.
sounds a little bit like you carry a gun around.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Glogowski.
Everybody, we used to break it up, go ski, to help people.
Glogowski.
Glow and then go and ski.
Let's go and ski.
I like how you do that. That's like how the two toas did it for me.
What about Tino Fa'asuya Malawi?
For Sumawali. No, I've got no
Yeah,
idea.
no, I don't even try.
Okay, that's cool.
How do you go? Have you been around island culture or family much?
Nah, not really.
Oh, it's not as. I guess you would.
I think dad's side, there's more like Maldives and things like that. But like we weren't really in contact with dad's side. So we didn't really get to meet them all. But besides that, it's usually... I think Chapel's the first place we've got around the
Oh, cool.
islander culture.
Yeah, well, the whole islander thing, it is
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, I can't stand them either.
Wow. That's cool. It's my cousins you're talking about now.
Bro, it's my cousins,
family,
bro.
man.
That's my family.
Cut to the deep.
That's
deep.
That's my family.
So how was it growing up with a surname called Glogowski?
It was good. Most people just called me Aaron because they wouldn't bother trying to pronounce the last name.
Do people think you're like some foreigner from overseas and stuff?
Yeah.
Where does it come from?
It's Polish.
It is Polish.
It is Polish,
Yes.
So your dad's like Polish guy.
No, like Polish, it goes like way back towards like Second World War, I think.
Yeah, bro,
Oh,
you're
wow.
in Australia. We're all
So your
convicts.
dad's a criminal.
Exactly.
Oh, am I allowed to say that? Yeah.
I thought we weren't going to.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I think the story goes that like my Polish family fled Poland during the Second World War or something, and they came to New Zealand and settled in New Zealand.
Right.
And then married like a Māori lady somewhere down the line. Yeah, so
Wow.
there's like Māori in our line.
Choice.
Oh, wow.
Way
Bro.
back, but
Claim some land.
we
Yeah.
actually do. I think we've like we could build like a house there and spend like 2 weeks of the year there or something like that. We're in part of
Sounds
some
good.
It's like timeshare,
time,
but
kinda.
it's free.
But it's free, yeah. Except it can only be there for like 2 weeks. But
Yeah, so you can see for the 2 weeks.
That's because of all your cousins you don't know
exactly,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
every single one of them needs their turn.
And then is it free will on the house? Anyone can use it if you were to build a house on there? Or
I'm not too sure. Honestly, all I was told about it was that Dad had to put our names down on some form
about. Oh, cool.
and they were organising it. But this is like, bro, I know nothing about all this.
So your dad was born in New Zealand?
Mum and Dad.
Oh, mum and dad.
Yeah, Mum, Dad, myself were all born in New Zealand.
Oh,
Josiah's
yo.
the only one that was born in Australia.
so you are Kiwi.
I was born there, yes. Wasn't raised there.
Chair.
But I was South,
Trying to
I,
get
I was
you, eh?
South Island.
He's trying to get you. You're Australian, bro. I got you. I got you. You're mine.
Bro, I'm Australian.
Yeah, well,
hard.
well, nah, you are. You are.
Okay. So how long did you spend in New Zealand? Only a year or two?
No, less than that. So they were doing ministry in there at the time and they happened to be there for like 3 months or something when I was born.
Okay.
So I think I was there for 3 months and then the next 2 years was sort of just travelling around Australia and New Zealand with them.
Wow.
And then they settled back in Australia when they had my brother.
Cool. Whereabouts in Australia?
Gold Coast.
Oh, okay.
So I've been on the Gold
So you're
Coast.
practically, you're practically raised.
Yeah.
Or Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Raised on Gold
So your
Coast.
bro's all Gold Coastian, born and
He's
bred.
100% Gold Coast import.
That's what's wrong.
Shout out
That's,
to Josiah.
that's why I like him.
Shout out to
That's,
Josiah
yeah,
Shout
good.
out to Josiah Glogowski.
Glogowski.
My man. Who's also we're gonna tell him that we've got a lunch for him here in a couple of weeks, and he's actually going to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
really?
no. But if he listens to us, that would be cool.
And Brad. Let's hook Brad up.
Who's Brad?
His best mate.
Oh, Bailey?
Oh, wow. Sorry, Bailey.
Sure.
Brad, that's a good one though. We should just call him
Brad.
Brad. He looks like
Yeah.
a Brad.
He looks like
Yeah.
Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad.
Okay.
Bailey.
So,
Gold Coast.
so brought up on the Goldie
Yep.
school, William Duncan.
King's Christian College.
Yeah, shot, bro.
From prep to year 12.
Wow.
Jeez, must be
What do they
nice.
call that? You're a foundation.
Foundation student. They gave me a little watch and everything.
What?
And my name engraved on it. It was still
Must
got
be
that watch.
nice. Must be nice.
It was nice.
Foundation member. When you go from 0 to hero,
0 to
you
hero.
walk down the tunnel. You've done the.
I think less people knew me the more I was at school.
People fell away.
Wow.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
your brother did the same.
No, he left in finished year 8 and then started year 9. Oh, no, he did 10, 11, 12 at Marymount.
Marymount.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, so we went from Christian to Catholic.
Christian to Catholic.
Wow.
From chapel to mass.
Wow.
Wow.
He actually transitioned from rugby union to rugby league.
Yeah,
so that's
good
why.
call.
That's why he
Wow.
went to Marymount.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Actually,
Yeah.
cool.
Got a
Is he in-
scholarship there.
Nah, he just moved there because he was like, he could have been on a scholarship at Kings. They offered him one for rugby union, but he's like, no, I want to play league.
Wow.
Because he was playing league outside of school. So
Yeah, okay.
How old is he?
He's 21. So he's 2 years younger than me. Most people probably think he looks like 2 years older than me.
See?
He does.
He probably would have been at King's just when Chapel started having a bit of a presence at King's.
Bro, I'm no good at math. Or
Yeah, he would have. Somebody told me that I was in the same home class as the Pikeas.
Hey.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I was there for a year or two. I think when Esther was in my home class.
When
Which
she
means-
was.
Yeah, Taylor would have been there as well.
Yeah.
But they would have been maybe year 7 or 8 at the time
year 7 or 8.
when I was finishing.
Wow.
Makes me feel old.
Right.
Oh,
How
I
old are you?
think look across the
Is
table.
that a tear?
Yeah, it's all uphill from here, bro.
I can't wait.
That's amazing.
So, the reason why I say that is because he bowed, and this isn't about your brother, but he bowed just before they actually started to take rugby seriously.
Yeah.
They've picked up at rugby now.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Did you play footy?
No, I
Front
didn't.
row?
Always wanted to. Yeah, prop bro. Always wanted to, but my parents kept me out of it my whole life because I was really small and they didn't want me getting injured.
Oh, yeah.
And that sucked because we were a rugby family through and through.
Hey.
Oh.
So I loved watching rugby. Josiah on a Saturday playing rugby was like,
Bro, did they not care about your brother?
no, they did, especially on Saturday when rugby was on. It was they put me in soccer and
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like a battle between my parents who had to come watch me play soccer on a Saturday because it was we want to go watch Josiah. They're playing Burley. I got to be there for that. I don't want to go watch Aaron. You go watch Aaron.
Soccer sucks. Have fun, Aaron.
Yeah.
You're doing
Aaron's
great.
fine. He doesn't care.
Oh, we love you, son. We want to protect you. It's dangerous.
Exactly. And then Dad's
Wow.
just watching footy all weekend.
League? Leaguey
League,
family?
yeah.
Who's the family team?
Warriors? Was always Warriors. I think we've all sort of got to the point now where we've all gone off and
Right.
chosen different teams.
Who's your team?
Eels now.
Oh.
So that was right.
It's been nice having you on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Wow. So you were at you didn't play sport at King's End, just soccer?
Oh yeah, I played everything other than
everything.
rugby. I'd do volleyball, touch footy,
Come on.
cricket, soccer.
Are you any good at soccer?
Skillfully wise? No, I was just fearless in defence.
Yeah.
So
let's go.
and I was very, I guess you'd say, aggressive. So I'd have that what you call a little bit of mongrel in me.
Nice.
Skillfully, bro, I couldn't took me year 11 or 12 before I could actually get the ball off the ground when kicking it. But I was just strong in defence.
Yeah. Love that.
That's good.
Love a good D.
Good.
When I
defensive
first
player.
played soccer, I wasn't allowed to play footy for
Really?
years. So I played soccer. I was good on defence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Penalised heaps, but I'm
penalise. Oh,
just take out the
Hold
guy
it.
and get the ball.
exactly. I drew a lot of penalties because I would go shoulder to shoulder with these big guys, and bro, I weighed 40 kilos, so I wasn't going to do nothing. But when they would retaliate, I'd end up flying over the sideline. Or
Penalty to Glagoski.
exactly. So it worked out well.
So good.
Glagoski.
Yeah, you're doing it.
I got it.
You're doing good.
Gee.
That's awesome. So, sport, any sort of ups and downs in the childhood? You're brought up in faith, right?
Yeah, brought up in faith. I wouldn't really say any ups and downs. I had a very blessed childhood.
Come on.
I think the parents' divorce was probably the biggest
Okay.
problem in life.
Yeah.
When I was younger.
When did that take place?
So that was at the start of 2012. So I was still 12 at the time. Josiah was 10.
Oh, yeah.
And I just remember Mum sitting us down one day and just saying like, "Oh, your father and I are getting a divorce." He wasn't there. He'd gone out for a walk.
Wow.
And so that was pretty. That was pretty
Was
hard
that
to
like
hear.
her job to tell you?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because she had sort of made the call.
Okay.
Wow.
And then so she told us, and it was pretty emotional. But like, it wasn't even that bad. Like they stayed friends right through the whole process. They broke really well. Like,
Wow.
Dad helped out Mum helped out Dad, searching for houses. So it was a really good breakup.
As good as it could be.
As good as it could be. Yeah, made it real easy for us.
So, was that the case? Did you do 7 on or weekends with Dad, or how did that work?
7 week on, week off, and we still do that to this day. 10 years later,
Even as adults?
even as
Oh,
adults.
7 days of Dad, 7 days of Mum.
Yep, Monday swap over.
And it was always like that.
Always like that. Yep, week on, week off.
Oh, that's pretty amazing. Because normally it's just left to the mum
Yeah,
5 days, and then the dads get the weekend.
yeah.
I did week on, week off.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, your dad. You told me that.
Yeah. And then just whichever parent was not letting us do it we'd like, then we'd go to the other one. And
Just chop and
Did-
change.
did you play that a little bit?
Oh, sometimes I tried to, but I think both my parents are pretty like
Team.
on the same.
Still a
yeah,
team.
yeah,
Ah,
on the
that
same
sucks.
page. No, you can't come over.
yeah.
Wow. So, okay. 7 on, 7 off. Oh, so your dad would start work later and get you to school and...
Nah, we caught buses
Oh,
everywhere.
okay.
Yeah. And stuff like that. We used to walk 5Ks to school.
in
Those
bed.
stories.
yeah.
Back
the
in my
winter.
day,
Yeah.
I could get a can of Coke and a bag of lollies for 50 cents.
It probably was back in Dad's day as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was 10 Ks to school back then.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
And
now-
it snowed here on the Gold Coast. So we were in bare feet in the snow.
exactly.
I died 3 times on the way to school.
But the climate's changed.
Well, you know what? And I'm going to have the same conversation with my kids. I used to ride to school from Southport to Merrimack.
To Merrimack.
Yeah, I was going to Merrimack. Mum lived in Southport. Dad lived in Miami. I would ride to Merrimack, and then I'd ride home to Dad. So practically in the day, as a 14-year-old or 13-year-old, I'd ride from Southport to Miami.
Let's be honest, Aaron. He would ride and say he's going to school to Merrimack.
Yeah.
But he'd take all day to ride.
Exactly. As long as he rocked up to his dad's place.
He'd stop at Surface for 3 hours, stop at Broady for 3 hours.
Burley, Nobbies, the whole way down.
Yeah. Have a scrap on the field at school and then just drive straight to his dad's.
Why are your eyes red? Oh, I was swimming in the pool all day. You brought it up. I was riding to school. You changed that.
Well, I got it easy. I just caught a bus.
There you go.
Must be nice, bro. Must be nice.
So, okay, so parents separated, you were 10 or 12, sorry.
I was 12, yeah.
What was church like for you, then?
So we went to like, when I was real younger, they were at a church named Lakeside. I don't know if you
I know.
Lakeside.
Yep.
And then one of the guys there started his own little church, New Day, in like Hutchinson Street in the Burley industrial area.
Cool.
And so we were at that church for like 6 or 7 years, and I'm talking there's like 20 people in this church.
Wow.
So for us, it was just like come hang out with your mates. I
So
don't even
good.
think there was like a kids program. They tried to, but I think we were just a bit too much to handle at that time, and we just stuck to ourselves.
Just play outside like the kids do on Sunday night.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, every now and then I'll do the old like flipping the projector with the words for the music.
Let's go.
That gave
Oh,
me some
nice.
responsibility there, but
Yeah.
so that's what church looked like. It was just
Okay.
a social hangout with mates.
So that was right up until like 19.
Nah, so that was
If you
sort
went-
of fell apart right up to about youth age, and then we joined Elevation. Started
okay,
going to youth at Elevation
Nice.
and started going to the church there, and then
Okay.
that was probably up to about maybe I'd say
Oh, so your parents were together while you're going to the...
yeah. Oh, and they split when they were at this New Day church.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
They split while they were at church.
Yeah, they were like, oh, not that didn't physically break up at church, but yeah, they were both attending church.
On Sunday.
Yeah,
It's done.
yeah, in front of the congregation.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, wow.
And so who kept going to that church? Or
Dad did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, when mum split up, she pulled out of church.
Okay. So you would have a week on at church and then a week off church?
Week off church. Yep.
Okay. Same with youth group? Or...
No, I think they both made the effort to take us to youth group.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So is your mum still not at church?
Mum's still not at church yet.
Cool.
She
So
came for my Testify.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was good.
Oh, awesome.
It was mean to see her there. But
Yeah, it's probably good for her to see a picture of the community you're in.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's a good picture.
No, it was. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a pretty cool community, but that's
That's awesome.
It is.
it's easy to say when you're in it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. That's very true.
Oh, that's cool.
When your mum pulled away from church and your dad's going and week on, week off, did you start to sort of be like, was there a point when you're like, oh man, maybe this church stuff isn't for me either, or?
I think it was, just more like, I don't really need to go to church. Like, it's not, I wasn't getting anything out of it. So it's more, it just became, hanging at my mates' places, like sleepovers Saturday night, and we're just chilling with them Sunday. So Dad wouldn't push us to go. And I think by the time we were like, maybe 15 or something like that, we just weren't going on Sundays.
Okay.
Just hanging out with mates and things like that. Every now and then, might scrape along, but he went to quite it was an old people's church. So we didn't have any real interest in going there.
Is that sort of what made him move to Elevation, you think? To
I think so.
sort of connect a bit better?
Yeah, probably for us. We were
Yeah.
going to the youth there, and like this church slowly started like just falling in on itself, and so he sort of saw it like, I need to get out, and he's like, I'll go with you boys to Elevation.
Oh, cool.
Sort of as like an effort to get us going as well.
Great.
And that probably lasted up to maybe 17,
Yeah, cool.
and then I think he went and did his own church with some of the old people. They went to a separate one, and we just stopped going altogether.
Right. Okay. I remember you guys coming to chapel. Was it the Senior Citizens Hall?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
The three of you.
Yeah, same.
And we had the circle.
Yeah.
Was that your... No,
That was our first time.
Was that your first
Yeah,
time?
there was like a circle, and I was like, bro, is this how they always do it?
Yeah.
It's as weird as.
Yeah, it's
It
not
is.
always how we do it. But I remember you guys coming in. I'm like, oh, good. This is going to be weird. For them.
For them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember. And I said hello to you guys, I think. I said, what's...
Yeah, I think you
Got
did.
some fine young men here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
We did circles at the senior citizens.
yeah.
I don't even remember it,
That's when
eh?
you weren't there.
Whatever, I've never left, bro. Spiritually, never left. Emotionally and mentally, I checked out for a while.
I'm there in the spirit. I'm there in the spirit,
Yeah.
Marsh.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were there. And so what sort of talk us through that? Like, obviously, you've Christian education, Christian parents. You gave your life to the Lord when you were how old?
Did it multiple times, I think.
Sure.
But maybe around like 12,
Yeah, okay.
13, around that age.
Didn't really move away from the Lord or the church much?
Probably never left Christianity. Like, I always would say I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
But I think I left the church and sort of left that whole environment for like a couple of years there.
Yeah. But you still knew God was real.
Yeah, still like undeniably knew God
Yeah.
was real.
Good.
Always believed, but I think it just was not bearing fruit and was not walking
Yeah, okay.
as a Christian. I think I'd be one of those people that I'm Christian, but you wouldn't really know. Just
Almost like a Catholic Christian.
almost like a Catholic Christian.
If you're a Catholic, you can pretty much do whatever you want. And you just go to your priest and... Well, that's just sort of my...
I'll ask Josiah.
Man, I remember going to... When I was working at a finance company, they're like, oh, yeah, we're Catholic. I'm like, when I first started, I'm like, oh, great. You like supposed to be similar, I suppose. I was young.
Yeah.
But they'd be out drinking and sleeping around. I'm like, yeah, I was like,
Are you?
oh yeah, I'm a good Catholic. Oh, it's just like the same as. Anyway, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah. Oh, we sorted out on Sunday, Marsh.
Oh,
Yeah.
The booth. We go to the booth. We sorted
booth.
out on Sunday. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not trying to knock Carlos. That's all.
Well, it surely sounds like it.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Nah.
Anyway, okay, so you brought up in a Christian faith.
Yep.
Your parents' separation, did that knock anything out of you, or
Probably it took knocked a bit of confidence in relationships out of me.
Okay.
Just because they, like, amongst the community and stuff like that, they were considered quite a strong couple.
Right.
And like
Wow.
they were at 25 years when they split. So I think to see that was a big, like, man, if they can't make it, then who can? Just because all my mates had split parents, like, I was just surrounded by, like, bad examples of good relationships.
Right.
This is a question from my lens because my parents broke up.
Yeah.
Around similar age to you, a little bit younger. But they obviously got married like 5 years later, however many years later. What does that do? Have you thought about and processed that as exactly what you just said? They're a solid couple. They're 25 years. So what does that do for you? What hope is there for marriage in you?
Yeah. I don't know. I was sort of like, because I like loved both my parents and thought they were both awesome. And I was like,
You mean love? No.
yeah, sorry, I love, yeah.
I love them.
That's a separate podcast now. I love my parents.
Good. Thank you for clarifying. Very good.
And yeah, so for me, it was like a big shock that, like, wow, they can't make it. So it did sort of put a lot of struggle on me. Like, how am I going to be able to, like, hold down a relationship, or like, what are my chances? Do they survive these days? Because, like,
Yeah, because I asked because I'm pretty sure I know you want to be married. You want to have kids.
yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, and you don't want that to break. So I'm curious, as God's obviously protected your heart and got planted seeds for that stuff in your heart. So yeah, do you notice any? Do you notice a bit of doubt or anything?
Not as much now. I think younger, like, just sort of processing that, it was like, wow, sort of a little bit of doubt and, like, not as much hope. But I think after growing up and then, like, they're seeing some good examples of relationships, sort of just, like, really put it back on me, like, nah, this is possible.
Come on.
And especially once, like, when they're both like pursuing the Lord and stuff like that, because my mum had, like, stopped attending church and, like, wasn't really going after the Lord. So I think that for me was a big, like, real, like, understanding that sometimes when you're unequally yoked, it can have a bearing on relationships. So I was always there, like, I can only do the best I can. So as long as, like, I'll try and be as solid as I can on my end, and then I guess hope that it's reciprocated.
That's really good.
That's cool.
Yeah, great example that you've taken out of that, because that's cool. Because it's not as if your parents are, your parents. I know your dad, not well. I just know seen him around, but parents, no doubt, are lovely because you're an amazing young man.
Yeah.
So your parents are obviously good people.
Yeah.
And people are just people. Stuff happens.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's cool to see the lessons that you can actually learn out of that.
Oh, yeah.
And then to see that, unequally yoked and your mum's doing that outside of church, and that's cool. That's a really good perspective. Thanks for sharing that.
No worries.
So,
You're, you're quite a nice influence at chapel.
Oh, thank you very much.
that's nice.
You sort of, I don't know, it didn't take you long before you started wanting to get known.
Yeah.
Talk us through that, like coming to a community that's quite well established.
Yeah.
Like we might, I suppose, I don't know, but when you walk in, it's like, man, everyone knows.
Yeah,
everyone.
it does. Yeah, it is quite overwhelming.
That's a good question. I like that.
So how did you you were how, 19 then, 20 then?
Yeah, no, 20. I would have been 22.
How old are you now?
I'm 23.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've been. I think I just turned 22 when we first came to chapel. Yeah.
Dang. Is that
Yeah.
oh.
So you've been here for a year?
I've been over
yeah,
here.
but-
A bit over a year, because
Yeah.
we've been at Thingo for a year.
Yeah.
Wow, feels like
like
ages.
ages.
Yeah, it's like I've only been here.
So
for
what was the
6
feeling when you walked in and there's all these people that seemingly are family?
It
for
was
you guys?
there was like it was mostly positive because I was like, wow, this is a really connected group.
good.
It's like
Okay.
gives that family vibe, and I'm like, man, like that's what I wanted to be a
You
part
want
of.
that. Nice.
It was a little bit daunting because I'm like, oh man, everybody knows each other, so we're going to stand out like a sore thumb.
And you did.
And we did, yeah. But no, it was good to see because like I'd come from like churches where we'd just sit up the back. Like that's how it always been. The three of us, my brother and dad, would just rock up, stick by ourselves, go home. and it was always like that.
Okay.
That's how I think initially I was with Chapel, just happy to just rock up, go home. But yeah, I think in seeing everybody how close they were with each other, I was like, man, that's what I want. Because like me and my brother have always sort of wanted family, because it's always just been the four, like my initial units of mum and dad, me and my brother. And then when that split, obviously like each year, different Christmas, it's usually just the three of us. So we never really had that big family, even though we've got like hundreds of cousins on my dad's side over in New Zealand.
Wow.
We weren't like brought up around that.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it was just simply what you want, what we don't have.
Yeah, right. That's good, interesting perspective, eh?
100%. And the fact that you wanted it specifically, though, because you sort of dove straight in. What was it like for you? So, because it's not necessarily different for anyone else. Everyone coming into a place like that, to our community, you know, it's not as if people are judged by the cover of what they present. Everyone gets attention. Everyone gets, hey man, welcome.
Yeah,
how are you going? Everyone gets that. But not everyone has done what you've done. Like, look at where you are now. Like, and even we just laugh because we're like, man, haven't you been here for like 4 years?
No, I'm so grateful for.
Yeah. What did you do? What was that like with those? Did you just put yourself out there? Hey, can I come hang out? Hey, can I? Like,
not initially. So I'm not an initiator. Like I won't usually.
What? Really?
I'm not. Especially with social interactive stuff. Like I will not go out of my way to talk to somebody.
You are now, right? Hey.
Now I'm getting better at it. Yeah, but initially, like as I always tell people, I'm not a people person. Well, not initially,
What,
especially
bro?
with new people. Yeah, you won't believe it, but
It's like Josiah's the snob. You're the the friendly guy.
Yeah. I think Josiah is actually better. Maybe not. I think we're both. I think we're both the same when it comes to like new people.
Okay.
We never liked meeting new people. We're very like tribal, you'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we didn't talk to anybody until somebody would come and talk to me.
Yeah.
And so I think it was like Mikey that first approached us.
Of course it was.
And it was just like, oh, hey boys.
No,
like,
Mikey approached after me.
after you, yes, after you. Actually, Mikey was like way down the list. Actually, there was like you, there was Dan, your brother. Yeah. Both Dans,
Yeah,
actually.
in fact,
man.
and then you guys
And you even
guys
before Mikey.
prayed
Yes.
for them.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, bro, we did too.
Yeah,
Bro, you
I
don't remember that?
No, I do remember that. I remember that
I
now.
saw that. I'm like, oh, two brothers praying for two
Bro,
brothers.
because Dan brought me over, I think, or Dan brought you two over to me.
Yeah.
Because
Mikey gets the credit for so much.
He does.
That's true. He's done nothing.
He just came there after you guys had established.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, that punk.
Yeah, so he invited us to like a young adults hang thing that he's like, oh, we're going to the movies tonight. Do you guys want to come? And I was sort of like, oh, you know what? Like I was at that point, I'd seen family. I was like, oh, you know what? I'd like to get somewhat involved. And so I was like, oh yeah, cool. We'll go to the movies. And he's like, oh, I'll meet at Rabina. And so he tells us the time. And then like once we get there, he's like, oh, sorry, bro, I'm going to one in Pack Fair. He's like, but I've got this guy like meeting you. He can meet you there. And we're like, wow, this guy. So
I like this.
This is a good story.
So we just sat at the back of like Rabina Cinemas and we saw, it would have been Malachi and Odine. And they were sitting there and we're like, I think that's them. But we're like, nah, don't go over. We're just like, they don't know who we are. We'll just stay here. So we waited for like everybody to rock up and then we're like, okay, we'll go over now.
Oh, okay.
Because we didn't want to be stuck there in like an awkward conversation.
Bro, what was Mikey doing on Pack Fair?
I think he went to Pack Fair with some other boys.
There was another group there.
There must have been another group, yeah. So
This is good.
Oh,
Are you going to
classic.
talk to him about this after?
Nah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was like, that was the sort of initiating, like getting into
Okay.
sort of young adults.
Okay.
And then it sort of backed off again. And like, besides the occasional, oh, like, hey, Mikey, hey, Zach, the couple people would say hi to, it was just in and out of church each week. I wanted to get a part of stuff more. So I'd hang around sort of like the food, trying to, you know, just make conversation or see if people would come up. But Josiah and Dad were pretty quick to, let's go. So I sort of got dragged along with them. And then, yeah, it wasn't until Kerry and you got up to speak about internship that I was sort of like, man, this would be an awesome opportunity.
Wow.
And yeah, that's why I sort of jumped straight into that. Not usually I wouldn't jump into stuff, but that was sort of something I did. I just knew it would be good for me.
Wow. It's pretty interesting. Like one of my favourite scriptures is, by the love you have for one another, the world will know that you follow Jesus.
Yeah.
So hearing you say you came in and you just saw family
Yep.
and how much love people had.
Yeah.
That's pretty encouraging.
Yeah, definitely.
Pretty encouraging.
And it's also a real struggle for people is getting connected. Like it can be
definitely.
really hard.
Yeah.
And I think your story is a really good example.
Amazing.
Like that is so difficult for people. Someone like myself, it's not.
Yeah.
Like I'm not what you described. I'm
Yeah.
more like what
You'll
you're
go initiate.
now. I'm like, man, I want to talk to someone. Go talk to someone. I want
Yeah.
friends. I want to be around people.
Yeah.
But a lot of people aren't like that.
Mm.
But your story of hang around the food, connect. How much before internship? Because now internship has obviously you were just you have solidified some beautiful relationships and friendships in your life. People know who you are. You are a part of Chapel.
People know you without you even knowing them.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. But before that, how much? Can you just talk about how much work like you had to put in and like just the awkwardness of that, and maybe like. Did you connect with some people properly where there was actually genuine relationship or?
Yeah. It was a lot of work, and I sort of knew that with meeting some of the boys. Like I'd come home and I'd sort of, in starting internship as well, came home and said to Josiah, I'm like, there's going to be some people that I'm going to have to actually work on this relationship. Because I don't know why.
You said that going home?
Yeah, I said that to Josiah because I'm like,
oh man,
I'm in this now. Usually my default reactions if I don't click, I just
Gone.
Yeah. I was very much like that.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I want to get established into something, I'm going to have to put in the effort of making friends and relationships.
Right.
Because I always found it easier, funnily, to get on with worldly people than I did with Christians.
Wow.
I just found it like awkward and I didn't click with them. But yeah, so there was, Mikey was probably one of the ones I clicked with straight away.
Yeah.
Just off the bat, conversations with him just flowed and I was like, got on really well. But then some of the others, it was a bit more difficult.
Hard work.
Yeah, so yeah, initially I would just stay out, wouldn't get involved with it. But yeah, it was sort of internship and like wanting to be a part of it. I was like, I'm going to have to make an effort to be friends with these people. And I knew in my head, this wouldn't be like we're going to become besties in a couple nights. Like it's going to take a while.
Yeah. But that's true, organic, authentic.
Relationship.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Because then you're in a situation where you have to grow and stretch and
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
go through that awkward.
Be very uncomfortable. Yeah.
Short of internship, I'm labour on this because I think it's really important. Short of doing internship, what are some key things for some people that are listening? Because there will be people listening that are like, man, I can relate and I'm still not very connected.
Yeah.
Out of the horse's mouth, what are some things that some people can do that you think that'll help them? Short of jumping into internship, because it's not for everyone now.
Start with speaking to people and just find sort of things that are happening. Like for me, it was young adults hangs. I was like, that's cool. I want to be a part of that. And then actually just turning up to them each time, even though the first couple of times can be awkward and you don't know people, like my default reaction was to, oh, bro, I'm just not making friends. Go. But I was like, nah, like that's that whole consistency thing.
Yeah.
If you want to really be a part of something, find something that they're doing that you enjoy, and just keep turning up.
Well, that's like Mikey and Giannis's first young adults. They were sitting out in the car for like 20 minutes. Should we go on?
Oh, true, eh?
Yeah. Should we not go on? This is awkward.
Yeah.
The pizza's gone cold now.
There's no point. We should just go home.
Yeah.
Get our
No,
own.
literally. It is awkward. It is hard.
It is, yeah.
But that's what I think makes it rich too.
It does,
There's a cost.
yeah. Nothing,
cost.
nothing that lasts comes easy.
Because you can sort of see when it's fake.
Yeah.
It's like you have to.
Yeah.
I have to be nice to you. There's a young man standing around the food. I better go, hey man.
Yeah. Oh, and you can sort of, people in that position can tell it as well.
But when it's genuine, it's like, okay, this is real.
It's a very fascinating topic, eh?
It's good.
You cracked it. You did really well.
Yeah. I'm so stoked. And it wasn't just me. I think it was everybody's genuine love for meeting new people and stuff that made it so organic and easy to join.
Yeah. Well, I think so. Like when you talk about, not genuine, like someone on their own, I'm like, man, if I see someone on their own, just naturally, it's just my natural, I'm like, man, I want to see what that person's doing. I want to talk to that person.
yeah.
And I think there's, 800 people at Chapel that are like that now, 200-300, whatever.
Just play them that Michael Jackson song. You are not alone.
Oh,
I don't know if I know that one.
I am here with you.
You boys just wanted to continue?
can you actually pass down one of those guitars for a second? Well done, bro.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
It's awesome. And how's your internship journey and what you're going through now, and your future wife that you're lining up? And
It's been good.
Ooh.
The internship.
Oh,
No, all of it's been good.
any irons in the fire?
Oh, mate. Fish with a closed mouth doesn't get caught.
Ooh. Are your eyes open though?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
They're always open.
Good.
I think, but I'd say this year's probably been the best for like not dwelling on that.
Nice.
Good.
Because I've had other things to work towards.
Yeah.
Like I've had other things to put my energy and input and want to grow in.
Great.
Whereas when I was younger, I saw like everywhere, that sort of relate, or that whole like 7-6 areas of your life. Like
Yeah.
I'd say like all of those were sort of sorted bar the like relationship side.
Right.
So that's why it was such a big thing for me.
Okay.
Whereas now it's like, I've got areas where I can spend my time and
Yeah, nice.
have input in.
wise.
That's cool. I liked your test for God with your broken heart,
Oh, yeah.
trusting God again.
Yeah.
Walking along the beach. And,
Yeah, cool story.
I'll trust you, God.
Yeah.
It's really good, man. I like that.
Yeah.
So, you are growing in the Lord. You found your
Yeah,
your
definitely.
walk
Yeah, heaps.
growing a lot, or
Yeah. Oh, yeah, a lot. This year's been like instrumental. Starting an internship, and I think it was like that decision to start it and like throw myself into it, knowing that it'd be uncomfortable and like it would be an area of growth.
Yeah.
But I think the Lord's just rewarded me heaps with with everything. So it's been like best decision I made doing internship.
And your work has been really accommodating, eh?
Yeah, work was always good because I always did Tuesday to Friday, so I always had Mondays off.
That's right.
I just battled like a tiny bit of this very first week of internship because we were coming off like some split thing, split shift.
So you work 10 hours for 4 days.
Yeah,
That's quite a good
4 10-hour days.
good thing, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is good.
10-hour days are good as well, especially while you're young.
Yeah, that's right. I just wish they would probably started early and finished earlier.
Oh, what time do you start?
It's like 7:30 till 6.
Oh,
So it's like smack bang in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
Let's do 6 till 4:30.
Yeah, 6 till 4:30 would be awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's good.
I'll pray for that.
Yeah. And
Good.
the man, your intern, I believe internship, whatever that looks like for people that do different things, but you're like submitting your life to that is just the start of like the most amazing journey.
Oh,
because you
definitely.
finish internship, you've achieved something,
Exactly.
you've grown, but then it's actually just the start, man. It's
Yeah,
just
it is,
like, because God's like, man, I'm going to do this with you for the rest of your life, and it just gets more and more amazing and deep. And I just say that because I just see your heart. And I'm like, you're actually amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You're awesome. Your drive and your passion is really beautiful, authentic, and encouraging.
And I suppose it's good for your mum and dad to see, you thriving and shout out for them for persevering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if your mum's not into fellowship per se, she hasn't discouraged.
No, definitely not.
Which is really, really mature.
Yeah.
It's really cool, man. Well done.
Yeah.
They had to, pretty amazing, their teamwork
Yeah.
while
yeah,
not
definitely.
agreeing to agree on, because both of you are awesome young dudes, you
Yeah.
and your brother.
Yeah, no, they did awesome raising us.
Yeah, very
cool.
good.
So I always take my hats off to them.
Yeah.
They're like, a lot of what they taught me, like I'd model after them.
It's awesome.
But then, a lot of stuff I won't.
It's good. Your own walk.
Yeah. God, relationships, and career. What's happening for the next couple of years? What are you shooting towards?
I feel like God is just an always area I'm always wanting to grow in. And I think like it's taken me sort of a little bit to get it, but realizing that it will just come organically. Like I I don't have to try and just like chase every single down and get it now. Like it's a lifetime journey.
Great, awesome.
So there's I don't put heaps of pressure on myself in that area. I don't really put any pressure on myself.
Yeah.
But career is probably the one at the moment that I'm like looking at advancing, just because I'm like, I'm sort of at the point where I want to get out, try something new.
Right.
So
And what are you currently doing?
aircraft engineering, basically like a car mechanic, but on planes.
Yeah. We know heaps about that, eh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, boring stuff.
Yeah,
So,
Don't want to do it.
are you not you're not really enjoying it?
Oh, like the work's fun. It's just sort of the room for growth and sort of like the hierarchy structure there. I sort of like, I was like, just it sort of made it not very fun.
Because it sounds amazing.
It's like the variety of work that you do is quite cool, and the skills that I've learned from it's been awesome. But it's sort of like, man, I'm like,
Let's
not
check
really-
for more.
yeah, exactly.
good.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think this is like my calling or what I'm going to do. But
Yeah.
so that's always been an area of battle in the last couple of years, especially just the more I sort of pursued God versus the environment of like the work hangar and things like that.
Cool.
It's been a bit
Good.
of a struggle.
Favorite banquet at the moment?
Oh, Mikey's Purple Book's really good.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that's been good.
Awesome.
Good.
Good. And you're helping out in youth, which is great.
Yep.
Well done. It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those relationships at youth will, man, bless you more than you
Yeah.
know. Eh?
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome, bro. I just had hung out with some guys that were in youth
yeah.
with me this morning, and they're all like 17, turning 17, 18.
Yeah.
And they're all guys that, 14, or so 15, 12, younger when I was. Those relationships are awesome, man. That'll bless you for years to
Yeah,
come.
I love the youth and building the relationships there.
So
Cool.
good.
Especially because it was something that like I didn't have when I was in youth.
Yeah.
Oh,
So like it's on the flip side of that, I'm like, I want to be the person
Come on.
that I wish I had when I was in youth.
Yeah,
I love
awesome.
I love that.
Do you like the idea of no personal technology?
Oh, I think it's awesome.
It's good, eh?
Yeah.
Good.
Do they still like it?
Oh, I think deep down they do.
Yeah, cool.
I think they might not say it to your face, but I think when like once it's out of their hand, it's probably like, yeah, exactly. Some of them will try and be sneaky and like get it, like keep it in their pocket or whatever, but then often the phone will go off or something.
We get caught out at some point.
Yeah.
Bro, we had punishments for that. I got reminded the other day. This new kid came one day, and I'm not super proud of this. But this new kid came, and we like gave everyone an opportunity. I'm not sure if Tay remembers. Hand in your phones, blah blah blah. And they didn't, and he got caught on his phone during. And so we grabbed his phone. We did a Facebook Live on his phone, and made him do a catwalk in front of everyone on a Facebook
Really?
Live. Yeah,
He did it?
Yeah. Pretty bad, eh? If that kid ever listens to this, I'm sorry.
I don't think he came back.
Oh,
Yeah.
We've
Wait.
changed.
we've adapted.
Sam is no longer involved in you.
And I still went on for a couple of years.
How come I never heard about that?
Yeah. There's reasons for everything. Anyway, that's not good. Don't do that ever.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, we value you in our community. As I said, you're awesome.
Yeah, you are.
We're blessed
Thanks
to have
for
you.
coming
Thank
and
you.
sharing on podcast.
No worries.
It's awesome. Thanks, Aaron Glogowski.